Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So in this video we're going to be continuing our series on graphic design on mobile. In our last episode we talked about Pixel Lab and its user interface, where we talked about the menu panel, canvas panel and the toolbar panel. So today we are going to be elaborating more on the toolbar panel. So first we'll be starting with the text tool. Now the text tool, let me do this, like I said before, is to give you random quotes which I don't find useful. This is to create a text. So let's create a text. Let's say text. Okay, now this allows you to edit the text. This is to delete. This is to copy. We just made a copy. Now front to back. Let me show you what this is. We'll come back to this word as for position. You can use this to, the more the pixels, the more it moves. You have relative position. This is horizontally centered. This is vertically centered. Right, left, up, down. And you have your size tool. Size, your color. So let's change this to red. And let's increase the size. Now take note of what's to front and to back. Currently it's in the front. Now when you click and you select it, let's say to back, you see this other text comes forward and this goes back. Now let's say to front again, going to the front. So that's the essence of these two, back and to front. Then we have your texture tool. This allows you to give texture to your fonts instead of colors. Now let's look for a texture to use. Once you select you, so okay, and you see what it does. It gave the wood texture to the fonts. That's what the texture tool does. Now opacity. This increases how much you see your text or how less you see it. Now watch. It starts getting invisible. Take it to 0, you no longer see it. So depending on what you want to do, that's where this comes in. This actually shows you how visible your selection is. Now the rotate tool, it says it's used to rotate. Then the masking tool. See what this does. It's used to mask out or mask in where you need and where you don't need. As we move on, we'll be learning more on how to use the mask tool. Then font, this allows you to change your font type. These are the default fonts, these are the installed fonts. We'll be learning how to install fonts in our next tutorial. Then these are your recently used fonts. At the top here you have the font that comes with Pixel app. Below you have the installed font, so let's use this. Now you see that. Now curve. What this does is bend your text. You have the background. It gives background to your text. Now you're not seeing the background, but now you're seeing it. So because it was almost dark before. So now you have your left padding, right padding, top padding, bottom padding, radius. Now let me explain this. The left padding is this actually works with this part of your background. If you increase it, you see how much space you have there. If you decrease it, it reduces the background downwards. So most of the time, I prefer working with this at 15 or 10. Same for right padding. Then the top padding is for the top, the bottom padding for the bottom. And the radius, this makes the edges curve. Now watch. You see how that works. And now you have the align. You won't actually see anything happen now until you have a lot of text. So if you double click on it, you can also edit. String file. Now this is like a text box. You use this to decrease or increase your text box, breaking your text into paragraphs. This is an easier way of reducing your size. This is used to rotate. I prefer you use the tools here for more balanced edits. Now back to the align tool. Now what this is already left aligned. When you say right there, now look what happens. See? Now you say center align. We say justify, it tries to arrange everything so they meet up at both ends. Okay, it's currently not working here. Then spacing, you have for letters and for words. When you select that of letters, it increases the spacing in between the letters. Then go and decrease the size. So you see, and for words, it increases for words. For you to see that of words, I will need to now you see how much the space is. Wherever you undo, this is the actual normal way, normal word spacing. But when you do this, you can also decrease this word spacing. Same for letters, you can also decrease it. Now for line spacing. Now this works for the spacing, paragraph spacing actually. Decreases and increases. Now you have your stroke. Like it implies strokes, it gives strokes to your text. I'm not seeing anything because of the color applied. Now let's use blue. Now you see you can use this to increase your stroke size. Increase it. Then you have your inner shadow. Make the background white. So you see the inner shadow. When you click on inner shadow, it gives shadow, applies shadow to your text inside. And look at it. When you increase it, the shadow becomes small. Now, when you talk about X and Y offset, this is the angles of the shadow. For X, the shadow goes left or right. For Y, goes up or down. And you also have the option to change the color of your shadow. You also have your shadow, which is the outer shadow. So this actually applies shadow outside with same settings. Actually, the opacity decreases or increases the shadow visibility. The blur increases the blur of the shadow and dispatches more to a wide area. Outer glow makes the shadow up the more. Then your X and Y offset, as I said earlier, it's moving your shadow to a particular angle depending on what you're working at. Then you have the emboss, which I don't mostly use because it's having cracks. It gives a kind of 3D feel, like it's coming out, popping out. Let me show you. Look how flat it is. Look when I activate it, but it's as if it's popping out. You can play around the settings later. Then perspective. Perspective is how it actually, this settings actually allows you angle your text to feel like it's coming from one part or the other. Now let's play with it and see. I'll enable it so you see how it works. So you see. Now it feels like the testing is coming from your upside. See how it works. This is to undo it. Every part of it can be adjusted. Then you have your 3D rotate. Now let's rotate it up, down, that's upside down. This rotates left to right, right to left. You have your 3D text for 3D. So you can play with this and see how it works, but you won't be needing it. 3D shadow makes your text look like it's standing. And your text reflection, just the reflection of your text. You can increase how close or how far you want your reflection to be. Now that's all for the text tool. Let's move to the shape tool. So you have from here, you have different shapes to play around with. Let me use this. When we talk about radius, let me enable the color. Let me add the color to your shape. Radius works on the angle, how curved you want your angle to be. Then opacity, you know what that is. Visibility, walkthrough. Your color, you can use gradients too. Then this is to add stroke. This is the opacity of the stroke. This is the color of the stroke. You can also use gradients too for your stroke also. Now watch the edges. Currently it is rounded. Now you see it is flat. And now it is normal. Now you see what blur radius does. It blurs out the stroke, making a kind of glow around it, around your shape. Same for all of your shapes. So that's all for the shape. Then we go to the stickers. Now here enables, this comes with some stickers you could use while designing and all the rest. So you can check more for this. Then you have the bezier tool. I'll be having a specific video so we understand how the bezier tool actually works. We'll be having another video for this tool. Right after our font installation video, we'll be having that on the bezier tool. So here you have canvas settings from here. Used to change the color of your canvas space. That's what you work on. You can also use gradients too. Now this is to make it transparent. This is to change the size. I mentioned this earlier on in our previous video. And this is to use an image from Pixel Lab for your background. That's the canvas you're working on. While this allows you to get images from your background, from your gallery, I mean. Yeah, just like this. And here you can take a picture and use for your background. So that will be all for this tutorial, guys. See you in the next video.